Well, what's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 12 in my 14th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And continuing along with today's review, we have The Gorgon from the year 1964. This one is coming to us courtesy of Viavision Entertainment, which is a label based out of Australia. I used to get sent screener copies to review way back in the day when I focused more on reviews. And this was one of the titles that they sent me. I believe I have reviewed it on the channel in the past, or at least on 22 Shots or something like that. But yeah, it's been a little while. I've also seen this movie in the drive-in theater, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it's one that I've seen. This is probably about the fourth time I've seen it now, and every time I watch it, I seem to like it a little bit more. But it is set in like the early 1900s Germany, I believe, in the town of Vandorf, where there has been about 7 to 10 murders in the last decade in this little town, and there is this guy who is this young man, artist guy, who's with this girl, and she is, sort of smitten with him, and she ends up pregnant, but her father does not accept this guy, so he hastily decides to go tell her father to basically ask for her hand in marriage, and she runs out into the woods, gets lost, and then she ends up murdered. And then a search party goes through the town, and they end up finding the man hanging from a tree, the boyfriend, and they have a little court session and basically chalk it up to murder or suicide. But the father of the young man doesn't believe that his son would have committed that act, so he sets out to prove his innocence. The film stars Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, along with a couple of other people. Peter Cushing plays, I believe, the coroner of the town, and Christopher Lee comes in the second act of the movie as a friend of the man whose son was accused and, I guess, convicted of this murder-suicide. So also you have the father of the son believes that there's something else going on, and maybe the town is blissfully ignorant about it. So there's also this legend of basically Medusa. They kind of talk about the backstory a little bit, but there were these three women who had like snakes for hair and stuff like that. One of them was Medusa, and then there were two other ones. The one that the legend in this movie is about is not Medusa, it's one of the other women, but I don't remember the name. So, and it's called the Gorgon, or Gorgon, as you can see on the cover there. But so there's also this like town, this castle up on a hill in the town that nobody really goes to. There's like opening title scroll that talks about this, and that castle has the legend that it houses this woman who, if you look at her, you turn to stone. And that's how the young woman died at the beginning of the film. And then the father of the son who was convicted, he also meets the same fate, and he calls for his other son to come in, and also a friend of his, played by Christopher Lee. And Christopher Lee comes in and sort of investigates and breaks down the history of what's going on, and puts the clues together to figure out like what's going on. And they start to suspect this young, beautiful assistant of the coroner Christopher Lee, Dr. Christopher Lee there, or sorry, Dr. Peter Cushing there. But yeah, so that's basically the plot of the movie. I think this movie is pretty cool. It has a lot of good atmosphere. There's some funny moments in it too, like the fact that like I get the town is intentionally not like believing that it's anything other than like they're kind of blaming it on this dude who this young kid, this artist kid who doesn't have like a positive reputation in the town. He's a drinker and stuff like that, and they make it seem like he's like much worse than he actually is, and they they place the blame on him, but at the same time it's like, bro, people are being turned to stone, right? Like, how did this kid murder them, right? So it is. I wish they don't really like elaborate on that idea and the fact that like how do you explain that away too much in the movie. Like I said, they just sort of like ignore that fact, but you can chalk it up to the town is just doesn't is like fearful, and they kind of touch on that in the movie and stuff, so they just kind of place the blame on other things. Some of the stone effects are a little funny too. They're not the best, but you get the point. But really, I really like just the setting. It's a Hammer film, obviously, so you got lots of like fog and full moons and good atmosphere. The castle up in the even when they go up to the castle, it's like very dilapidated. Like I think a piece of stone falls from the ceiling at one point, and that's a cool set piece to the movie as well. Overall, it's a quick watch. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes or so. But I just really tend to like Hammer movies the older I get. I don't know what it is. When I was younger, I didn't really think they were that interesting. But as I've gotten older, I've enjoyed them a little bit more. So with that said, I'll give this movie a 7 out of 10. And hope you guys enjoyed the review. We will see you tomorrow with another one. Sorry about the voice. I still am a little bit sick, trying to get over that, so my apologies, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.